Hi, and welcome to Diversity in the Community. I am so pleased to have these three beautiful women with me tonight, and they are involved with a program called Good Works. And first of all, I want to introduce them to you. The founder of Good Works is Theresa, and how do you pronounce your last name? Good?
Good, without the E.
Theresa,
Yes.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
Theresa Goode.
Yes. Thank you very much. And I started Good Works roughly about 15 years ago, and I guess I just knew that I was to do something special once I retired from the state of Connecticut. I really did not know what it was until I sought God's direction. And it's just like he just told me it was for the prison population.
Yes.
For I did not want it to be for women and children, women and families, because there's so many other programs out here in the community to help them. And there was very little to help the women in prison.
Right.
So I just found out through prayer, meditation, that it was to the prison population. And from that point on, I went back to school, got my master's, and began networking. And 15 years later, we are up and moving, and I'm in the prison doing one-on-one counseling.
Wonderful.
And following them out back into the community with our mentor program that we have.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Miss Patty. Hello. Introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself.
I'm Patty Glenn Campbell. I am a client of Theresa's. I also work with Theresa. I'm very blessed. I believe that God brought me to Theresa.
Right.
I was going through some changes in my life, and I ended up back in prison after 10 years, and I've been sober for almost 15, and I was going through some changes in my life, and I often wondered why this happened to me, and it was because I met Theresa. God knew that I needed that intervention.
Wow.
So I'm very blessed. I just love the program. The women that are coming out, now I'm in a different capacity, and I get to work with the women one-on-one. And to me, they're like family, you know, in a lot of ways. It's difficult, you know, for them to get back on their feet. It's a pride thing. We're working on self-esteem issues right now, having fun, too. We had a fundraiser last night, so that was fun. We do golfing. We do a lot of things, but mainly we work on trying to get them, you know, at peace with the trauma, to overcome that.
Wonderful.
And, you know, we do that through prayer and different things, you know, just different things, talking, sharing among women, where it's safe.
Wonderful. Love it, love it. All right, Miss Lisa.
It's my turn. So my name is Lisa, and I volunteer, and I'm a mentor, and I volunteer with Terry for many, many years in different capacities, and probably since the beginning, you know, for different reasons, you know. But right now, I'm actually have a person who I mentor, and I enjoy doing that. But it's happened. Like, it's not like having a daughter, maybe like having a sister, you know, another sister. But what we also have workshop on Wednesdays, and I'm always there because I love to facilitate and I love to share and you know, give what's inside of me out to the women, and we always, one thing about the program is whenever you go into a workshop, you will always see somebody transform.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah, you will always see somebody transform. Right. So we have a person who was here once, and we weren't really sure how she was taking it. She was strong-willed. By the end of workshop, she was smiling. She got her tools to survive in her program, which is very difficult. We might talk about programs later. And it was amazing. And then we got a call that she was coming back. She was returning, and we were just like, you know. And the thing is for them to return. Yeah. You know, to return. And like Patty said, it's a safe environment, and what everybody feels, you always hear this, is that we can share anything, and we know that it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. How many people do you guys have at one time in the program? The most you've ever had in the program?
Well, because it's such a transitory population, right now we're dealing with 26 mentees, and those we have some incarcerated and some that are out at halfway houses or transitional program, or that's out at end of sentence. So at any given workshop, we would have, I would say, between 5 and 10 women might come out at one time.
Oh, okay. So how, like, if a person wanted to get into your program, how does it begin? How does it start? How do they?
Well, in prison, when I go in, I provide one-on-one counseling with women, and their counselor will give me a referral to see, and that's how it starts. They come in from a referral, and I would say yes or no, and we just continue on with the counseling process. Once they are out, we provide a mentorship for them, and that's where the mentors, 9 times out of 10, are matched up with the mentee. Prior to them coming out, we also do a goal setting with them, and also a treatment form, so that we'll know how best to help them when they do come out.
Wow.
And periodically, someone will bring
Yes,
a friend.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Lots of times they bring a friend,
Exactly.
and you know, I have a program that I go to, and you know, it's helpful, and so that's a nice thing.
Wow. Now, how is this funded? Is it a?
Well, of late we have been getting state grants, and most of our funding came from sponsors, donors, and from our golf tournaments, fundraisers.
Okay.
And just of late, I decided to push it just a little bit more and apply for grants, and we have been getting them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So when a person is done, how do you know when a person is like finished and ready to, or is anyone ever finished?
Well, no one is. The way I look at it, no one is really ever finished with mentoring, or just being a friend, or supporting someone that you feel needs your support as well as they need your support. Did I say that right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So it's like when a child grows up and gets ready to go to college, you know, that weaning away takes place, but the connection remains. So if they do come out and they go through the program, they've done everything that they need to do to become self-sufficient. They've gotten a job, they've gotten their apartment, they're in the process of reunifying with their children. That's kind of like a success story.
Wow.
And they're still connected with their mentor, you know? So wherever they go, my hope is that they always stay connected. Yeah.
So now, as far as like people getting back into the job market and all that, do you guys help them with like the resumes and all that, or is there's another piece? You know, like if somebody needed to get a job and they didn't know how to do the resume, so you do that type of thing too?
No, we just make referrals.
Okay.
And they pretty much know, those that are coming out of incarceration, they pretty much know what's open and what's available as far as employment is concerned. That's a start, not that they know everything. And then word of mouth, they know,
But it's getting over that stigma, if I might interrupt.
Sure, go right ahead.
Having a record, also how to apply, and we hook them up with CT Works. We have representatives that come in and do workshops. One-on-one, we'll do a workshop and then they can go see her one-on-one to get a start. And we provide them with a list of maybe employers. And, it's re-entering the community, integrating all that. A way of life, changing things too.
Wonderful.
Very hard, very difficult. It's not easy at all for the girls at all. You're gonna apply, get turned down. We had one girl who said she filled out 250 applications before she received her role. And a perfect fit. The job is a perfect fit for her, but 250.
And that box is not supposed to be checked anymore. If you have a record, they don't ask that question anymore. But you always be honest and tell them the truth.
And they do look and search to see if you do have a record. And some of the ladies do come back and say, I've been hired. I start whenever they start. And the next thing you know, I get another phone call that says, they let me go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they have done that search and found out they have a record.
Wow.
So housing and employment are the two critical issues we ex-offenders have to go through. Yeah.
Wow.
Besides everything else. Yeah, staying sober, for instance, high population has drug or alcohol and mental health issues as well. So we try, to encourage that.
With the mentorship, it's a change of lifestyle, because you gravitate towards what you know. So we try to show a different lifestyle, so that they don't gravitate towards what they're used to. And make life interesting for them so that they can see different things. And it's great because it opens up a whole new avenue. And then, the other day, I think I had a person who was, I said, we can go out and eat, and she was like, you pick. She was like, you pick. So it's nice because then that says that she's learning different. It's a different way of life, So
You guys gotta feel good inside.
Oh yeah.
That you're doing something to.
It's nice, and what's really nice. You're a mentor when somebody is doing what you said, because otherwise you're just going through the motions. But when you see that somebody is actually trying, we had like Lisa said, I have to say it this way, or like Lisa's always said, so you always hear that, and then you say, that means that somebody's trying, because you could be a mentor and you could also be just like a Santa Claus, not just always there and nothing, because you're always going to be there, but, what you're looking for is change, and what we're looking for is a change of, at one time you were an example for you made an example for what your crime that you committed, but then our job is to be an example to show that you can live a different life. So taking those two examples and making a difference.
That's so wonderful. What's your mission? I have this on my little question.
Okay, our mission is to empower women who have been involved with the criminal justice system and who are willing to be a part of a network, a positive network. And for those that are coming out, we make sure that they are in a safe place. That's first of all. And then we ask, what are your needs? Because there's many women coming out of incarceration that have absolutely nothing and nowhere to go. So we make sure that they have their basic needs met.
Is there a similar program for men?
No, I don't think so. Well, not to the extent that we do or what we provide, but they are looking for such a program because I often get calls from men looking for information about good works, and then they'll find out, is this for, they'll ask if, is this for men and women or what? And I say, no, this is just for women. And they just say, oh no, where can we get some help? And I just said, well, I really don't know. I really don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I tell them to call 211. That's what everybody is told to do. Call 211.
What is 211? I'm sorry.
That's an informational center.
Statewide.
Yeah,
Statewide or nationwide? Is it nationwide? 211? Or statewide?
I think just, I don't know, statewide?
I believe, yes. I know statewide for sure. Yeah.
That's anything you want to know.
Yeah, they have all the information.
Any program that
They can.
Now, what's the average age of the people that are in the program?
18 to 62. Right now I'm at, as I said, I'm at the York Correctional, and it's only a women's prison, and I'm now seeing women from 18 to 25, as well as women from 25 to 62.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a wide range.
Yeah, it is wide. Yeah, and they're paying more attention now to the youth, which they should, because these are our young people who are coming up and going to be leaders in our community. And some of these young ladies have been in prison since 16. Yeah. So when I go in to do the one-on-one counseling, when they feel comfortable with me, they begin to share of their history and what has happened in their lives. And you really, your heart goes out to them because they didn't really have a chance.
Yeah.
So they begin to tell their story, and this is where we begin with trying to bring forth healing to them. Yeah, a lot of trauma in their lives, and they have no one to trust or believe in. So hopefully we can feel a little peace in their lives of safety and security.
Oh, God bless you.
And stability.
And stability,
Yeah.
of course, stability, yeah.
Stability.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys ever have, like, at the end of the season, and, like, we have holiday parties and all, do you ever have things where people come back and kind of give their testimonials?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Lisa, you
Yeah.
can speak on that from this.
Oh, we just had one. We just had one at Christmas. Yeah, it was really beautiful. Really beautiful. We had mentors. We had some mentees who have gone through the program. Everybody together. Sponsors. We had sponsors there, and guests. So and people who have supported the program over years, over the 15 years. Everybody comes back, and it's beautiful. And what we usually do is have a mentor and a mentee. We'll either one of us will start and we'll tag team, and we just talk about what we received out of the program. Mentors learn just as much.
Absolutely.
We learn how hard it is for the mentee. We learn that programs, though they're helpful because they do provide a safe place for the girls, it's still difficult because you have your freedom, but you don't have your freedom. You're thinking you're out of prison. And then it's also very difficult for the girls because you're incarcerated right here. And that part is letting go of that, letting go of this is how somebody looks at me and realizing this is who I am. Because you're always going to get looked at, or somebody will always have a testimony that says someone at that job is going to say, well, you came from prison, So you have, but it's very interesting. The program that we just had was for Christmas, and it was.
We had a 2-piece band,
Wow.
a young group
Wow.
from Mass, and we had a poetress,
Yes.
and she was just wonderful.
Oh my goodness.
And it was just absolutely wonderful. The food was good, of course.
Yeah.
We had it at the Taste Buds and
in the East Side.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, now I
We had
know
about
about it.
40
I
You can join in.
Yeah, I can come and visit the next time.
Sure, by all
Yeah.
means, yes.
That is
yes.
just so wonderful.
Yes.
Trying to see, do you guys want to say anything else? I'm trying to look at my notes, but I want this to be all about you guys. Anything that you want to talk about, or?
No, fine. This is great.
Easy.
Oh, okay. How would, I know I have in here, how would the town or city benefit from Good Works?
Well,
Yeah.
Well, because I believe that once a woman has come through Good Works, they will save the taxpayers' dollars. And when they come out and they are successful, they will save taxpayer dollars. They save money for the cost of their stay at the prison, and the recidivism rate would be lowered.
Yeah.
So once they're become self-sufficient, they're able to continue on with their life and not be have a memory of being incarcerated and being that number incarcerated.
And maybe get involved in other programs within their town or in the community or in the state and give back. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
I think.
And we've had some great successful stories of, women have children. And, so it also helps with who you're bringing up now, because you have a total different vision of how you're raising your child. The traumas that you went through, you don't want your child to go through. You're very protective of that. And just reuniting the child and the mother together too. Family. Family is important for society. It brings community. So there's so many elements.
Yeah.
So many elements, but the hard part is, most of us, we lost our children, we lost our children, and getting those children back,
And healing through that trauma.
and the
together.
child to go through, the healing
So
too.
that's a big.
The rejection, feeling rejected, because you already have rejection issues and concerns, and then your child also does because they lost you for a period of time.
Yeah, right.
And they either get lost in the system or, families, back and forth to different homes. So become very unstable. So it's very important to instill love into your mentee so that your mentee can instill love into their child. So it's all just feeds.
It's just such a wonderful
It feeds
thing.
off.
Oh my God.
It's so important. It's every aspect of life you have to touch. Every aspect of life. This is not just, I'm going to get together with you and we're going to be together for half an hour this week.
Yeah, right.
It becomes a lifestyle. She is as much as in my life as my son is in my life. Different households, but
Oh, that's so wonderful. I know, Theresa, you talked about starting this, but before you even started it, what came into your mind or your heart that made you want to say, I just want to, what was it, a dream, a vision, or just something you always wanted to do when you retired? How did it come about in your?
Well, for the past 13 years, I had been working with Department of Children and Family. I was an investigation worker. So that meant that you're given a referral and you have 2 hours, 72 hours to go out to the home, assess it, and come back and present it to your supervisor. And so some of the homes were not the best, and some of the mothers really, I really had empathy toward them because I know that they're really trying. They had very little, but you can tell, you're right there in the mix of things, you can tell they had love for their children. And sometimes, when you bought the referral back, the information back, sometimes the supervisor wanted to take the children out of the home. And I was like, for what? Why? It might not have a lot in the refrigerator.
Right.
And the mattresses might be on the floor. You might have bread, peanut butter in the cabinet. You've got running water. Why? And so we would go back and forth with that.
Right.
So after 13 years, I said, ooh, this is like enough for me to do this. And I decided to retire. But I knew that care that I felt for women, it was still in me. And I just don't like injustice. There's no reason to disrupt a family, and the kids, they're just lost, So I decided to go back to school, and I knew that I had to get my master's. And so in doing, I quieted myself often and sought God's direction for the rest of my life, chapter 2, as they say. And it's like he just dropped in my spirit. I was to help women and the prison population, And from that point on, I just said, okay, what can I say? So do it.
That's right. Oh my God. And you know it was for you because look how it has turned out.
Exactly.
It's been a blessing. Oh my
Absolutely a blessing. The lives that have come through good works, it's just you just can't imagine how many women are hurting, and women who have low self-esteem, low self-worth. We try our best to rebuild their negative thinking by providing positive reinforcements, facilitators to do our workshops. Anything that's going to build them up and start with backing it up, start with their spirit man. This is what I call it, because if I always felt this way, that if you don't deal with the issue from the ground floor, from inside, the inner part of you, nothing that you do on the outside would last. Nothing would change. So you have to touch the past history, the trauma that they've been through. Some of the women have it together. They got it. They're on their way. And but there are some women who they're not quite there yet. That they need that support. They need that person to say, you can do it. How often do I ask somebody, how's my hair? How do I look? Not too much lipstick on. These women need just to know you can make it. Just by loving you, loving yourself. So
Yes.
And we're on self-care.
Yeah,
You know,
that's our,
for a few months we've been on self-care, so everything that we touch is about us. You know, we're being a little selfish right now.
Yeah, that's
You know,
all
we're
right.
we're taking time for
Yes,
ourselves,
yes, yes.
and it's beautiful. So anybody who comes in, even the poetry, anybody who comes in and facilitates will be coming in. Just how do I take care of myself? How do I love myself? How do I get to know myself?
Mhm.
How do I sit still? Terry's big with sitting still. You know,
meditating.
meditating. Yep, spending time. You know, be still.
How do you
And,
forgive yourself too? That's
yeah.
a big thing.
Mhm.
How to forgive
And
themselves
let go.
Mhm.
and let it go.
Yeah.
Because you can't give out if you're still hurting and feel shame inside you. I think that's a big,
Yeah.
you know, it's like learning to heal that inner part of your soul like she was talking about.
Mhm.
And then you're able to give back, you know,
Yeah.
and heal.
And then in the healing process, we have theater.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, that's
You do.
our big thing.
You do a little
Okay.
theater, you said?
We have been, in the past a year and a half, been collaborating with the Academy of Arts, the Black Theater Box,
Mhm.
and we began doing skits with the students from the Academy, with our mentees. And we've been doing it on depression. One skit we did one day around Christmas time,
Mhm.
and the mother came home from prison,
Mhm.
and but when she came to get the kids, mother was a little high,
Mhm.
and the kids saw that and felt that.
Mhm.
And is this right?
Right,
Yeah, all right, yeah. So it was played out by, like I said, the students and the mentees, and it was so intense that our mentees started crying,
Mm.
the mentees and the students,
Mm.
and so you could feel the urgency to be healed from inside, and the need for parenting,
Mhm.
good parenting, you know, between the mother and child, because both feel it, and they both need forgiveness, they both need love, and they both need compassion with each other.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the skits are amazing. You know, in the beginning we're a little rocky when we're trying to figure it all out, and everybody's bringing in their little perspective, and then when we're counseled, you know, well, in real life would it be like this, you know, because you forget, you know, how it was, and then yes, it would be, and then you start, and then by the end when it's all put together, you know, it's just like amazing, and like Terry said, it's therapy in itself. You know, because you will get taken while you're watching it.
Right.
Yeah. You know, like, and then sometimes even when the girls are acting, and you know, you have to step away because it's just too much, because it is a memory, and it's inside, like Terry said, and it's part of the whole point of it is for healing.
Yes.
You know, the whole point is it's theater to heal. So you're acting it out so that you can get it out.
This all sounds so interesting. Miss Patty, can you tell me what this program has meant to you?
A lot. I mean, saved my life, basically. It gave me a calling, it gave me a purpose. You know, as I said in the past, I mean, I was kind of going backwards and kind of at a stalemate, and going back into like that mode of just not being comfortable with myself, not starting new, not feeling self-worth, you know, those things, shame, guilt, anger, lost. You know, I belonged to AA for a long time, and I had, you know, learned a lot through that program, but this was touched on a different level, because it was a safe environment among women. And it learned me it taught me how to give back and how to heal myself. And just, it's just wonderful though, because I get to see the whole process too of other people coming out, and that to me is thrilling, you know. And I, you know, it's a calling from God, and to me, Theresa, like I said, I just I feel blessed, I feel saved, I'm proud of who I am now. You know, and my family is too.
Wonderful.
You know, and it was a healing process for all of us, because everything took place a long time ago, and we had a lot. You know, I was from the Valley area, and women have a stigma. You know, women to go through this, it's not talked about. It's shameful. You know, men, it's kind of, it's not acceptable, but it happens. It's more, you know, thought of. But a woman carries a great deal of that, I think, along with her. And then the you know, tends to bury those feelings.
Mm-hmm.
When we're talking about the acting out, I mean, that brought back feelings for me that had been buried for like 10 or 12 years, and I didn't realize it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still important. It's still ongoing, but it's good, you know. It's just healthy. A good, healthy way to live.
Yeah.
You know, because we all need tune-ups every once in a while.
And I always say,
Yeah.
we all have issues
Mm-hmm.
that we need help and support
Yes,
in. I don't care how big you are on the career ladder.
Yes.
I don't care how much you can preach or teach or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We all have issues. We're all in need of support.
Yes. 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 Yes.
So it's good because it's twofold. The mentees get their healing and we get our healing.
I was going to come to you next. What's the program meant to you? What's the program meant to you, Miss Lisa?
Oh, I think life is about giving back.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think you're living if you are not giving back. I just, there's nothing like serving.
Mm-hmm.
You know, giving of yourself, seeing changes. You know, I had a mentee who, I think 2 years ago, I think she moved away, and you know, still in touch. You know, and it's just good because then you can see, oh, wow, you know, she's doing good. She's doing good. You know, oh, we need a little help right here. You know, you know.
Yeah.
But to me, it's serving. It's another life. You know, you're living. You know, because you work, you have your family life, and your mentee.
Yeah.
You know, in all three of them. You know, and all the other things that you do in life. You know, but that for the human side is that mentee becomes, like I said, part of your everyday existence.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning I get a good morning.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do the texting, you know, and how are you, you know, whatever, what are you doing today? How was your day? You know, you didn't say goodnight. No, you know, I get those.
Yeah.
Did you get home safely yet? You know,
Yeah.
so I get cared for too.
Yeah.
You know, so I get cared for too. So it's a friendship too. You know, it grows into a friendship, and it's nice. And you always think about the other person's needs. You know, and it's reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a good system.
That's wonderful.
It's a good system.
Now, Missy, was there anything before we go off? Was there anything else you wanted to say?
Well, let's see. Right now, we're looking for mentors. We're looking for sponsors. I'm going. And I'd like to be able to help any young person who is in need of going back to school, just finding themselves, just want to talk. My door is always open.
Mm-hmm. Now, how would they get in touch with you guys?
Okay. My address is 45 Winterberry Avenue, and my telephone number is 860-490-7198. And my hours are from 10 to 3.
Okay. Now, I have this little thing here. When I read it, it just touched me. This little thing, and I'm going to read it to you guys. It said, "Good works, women supporting women. Good Works is committed to promoting the well-being of women in recovery to make positive lifestyle changes, fostering personal growth, and creating a safe environment for themselves and their children. Together we create a unique network of women supporting women, by women, for women. We empower ourselves to do better." I love this.
Oh, good.
I absolutely love this. It's wonderful.
Good.
And before we go off, we might be like join hands and say a little prayer before we go off. Father, I thank you for meeting these wonderful women, oh God. I'm asking you to touch them and bless the program, oh God, and give them everything that they need, oh God. Finances, whatever it is that they need. We know that you showed this program to my new friend, Theresa. We know that you laid it on her heart, and we know that you're going to continue to bless her, and we know you're going to bless Lisa, and you're going to bless Patty, Lord. We just thank you for them being on the show tonight, and we ask you just to continue to bless them. Amen.
Amen.
So, Lord, I thank you, audience, for watching tonight, and as you can see that this was a wonderful program. I'm just so proud of these ladies. And so thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Good night.
Thank you.